In this guide, we will be discussing about Xiaoyu's pushback moves. And the pushback happens when a certain move gets blocked or successfully hits. Now, for example, we have Xiaoyu's DB4. Now, when this move gets blocked, pay attention to the lower left side of the screen wherein it displays distance from opponent. So when we do DB4 and it gets blocked, we will be at 1.65. Okay? Now, if we set Alisa to standing and she gets hit by it, then we will be at 2.1. So that means that in order for you to create whiffs for Xiaoyu, you need to know what moves will give you pushback when they hit or when they block. Now, when you know the pushback of your moves, both hit or block, then you know what to do next, okay? I don't want you to go like this and you're just, I don't know, doing nothing. Let's set her back again to block all. Now, let's say we do TB1. We will be at 1.9, that distance. Now, if your enemy punishes you with something like Alisa's 1-1, now let's try that. Now, you saw that Alisa's 1 whiffed, right? Now, that is because of the pushback. When you stand still, the second part of the string will be blocked by you if you just stand there. But if you know that there's a pushback and there's a potential for a whiff, then what I want you to do when you are front facing your enemy is to just walk back. So if we try that again, it still gets blocked. But the thing is, the reason why we go back is for us to have the time to whiff confirm while being safe. If, for example, Alisa does this instead, let's try that. You saw that F2 did not whiff. What I want you to do is to just backdash when you push back someone front facing. The backdash will ensure that you will be safe. Just to make things clearer, then let's set the enemy again to 1-1. If we backdash, we are safe. And you saw that the first hit whiffed. But if we set Alisa again to F2-1, it still reached Xiaoyu, but the thing is, you're still safe. Okay? So, now, what do we do after a backdash or when we confirm something? So, let's set her back again to 1-1. Now, after you do the backdash, you need to be prepared with a launcher. I would suggest 2, and that is standing 3 or B1+2. Now let's try that with DB1 and let's try to launch her. As you can see, we confirmed the whiff at the first hit, and then since we know that we have the pushback, then we were ready when we confirm the whiff. Okay? How about if we go for F2-1? Since you did the backdash, you are completely safe standing. Now, since we do the backdash first, and you realize that, oh, it reached me, I can't launch in this situation, you are still safe, basically. So if she completes the F2-1, you can then punish that while being safe. Now, let's say Alisa does this instead. Now, let's try that again with the same move, DB1. The first hit whiffed, and maybe you realize that, oh, it whiffed, let's try B1+2. It floated, yes, but still you did not get hit or you did not get launched. So if that happens, you can then convert that into a full combo. Okay, it doesn't matter if the launch is on standing or if it floats. You countered it using your pushback. Now let's try with the low. Alisa will do DB4. See? When you push back, you are safe and the pushback is enough for the DB4 to whiff. Since you know that there is a possibility that your opponent's move will whiff and you have a launcher ready, you will just wait for the whiff. And then you can then launch the enemy with that. Now, I'll give you an example of a pushback on hit. So here, Xiaoyu will do DB4 and then she will backdash. Now for me, I will go for a slower move just so you know what I mean about this. So after getting hit, or if I blocked Xiaoyu's DB4, I will go for UF3. So let's see what will happen. First, we will block. As you can see, because of the backdash, she was able to block it. Now if you get hit, and then Xiaoyu will just backdash, let's see what will happen. So the UF4 completely whiffed. Since the Xiaoyu knows that it's already a whiff, she can then convert that into a full combo. So that is an example of a pushback on hit. Now you can be creative with your pushback. So what I mean is you don't always have to do your backdash and then just wait for the whiff or just wait for the next move to get blocked. So you can go for your rain dance, which is B3+4, or your AOP, or just a simple sidestep. A key movement that I use is I always have an extra move. So I don't just go jab, I go sidestep and then jab. So if, for example, I go for a heat burst, instead of doing that, I go with an extra movement. Okay, so now you saw Warung did a string, and so what we will do is we will use another pushback move, which is DF4, and then we will go back, and then we will try to be creative. We will try with RDS, we will try with AOP, and then we will try with just a simple sidestep. Okay, so first we will do DF4. Sorry. Okay, so now once you enter your backdash, you need to have a plan set in stone. What do I mean? So, for example, if you go for a backdash, either you go for a launcher, you go for AUP, or you go for B3+4. And then you need to execute a move right away. For you to see what will happen is it's like this. If you stay like that, then you will get clipped, you will get hit sometimes. So what you do is you need to commit to the plan. Okay? You partner that with another evasive option, which is RDS SSR, and then you go for RDS4 for the launch. So let's say we go for AOP. So if you just backdash in AOP, you will get hit, like I said earlier. But if you commit to a move, yes, it did not become a launcher, it floated a little bit, but still you basically hit your enemy and you stopped their pressure. Now let's say we try with the sidestep. Right? And then what you do, you launch them. Now we will proceed to FF3, which is the raccoon swing. And then Anna will try to punish us with QCF to 1. So what I want you to try with moves that put you to RDS that has pushback is to simply just go for DP, which is the equivalent to the backdash. Okay, and another one would be just pressing back for you to go front facing. More on that later, so let's try first. So I want you to have another input after DP, and that is back. There are moves that will hit you to neutral, so it's better if you press your back when doing it. It's an extra layer of security, and you will thank me later. So here, Anna's QCF2-1 didn't work. Now let's try to give her a faster move. Let's go with a simple DF1-2. And then we try that again. Now, because of the DB, it completely whiffed. Now, since you are in DB, even if Anna goes for a long-range FF2, yes, you get hit, but it won't clip you or anything. But if you stay on DB longer, of course it will not hit because you were ducking. Now let's try her DF2. Okay, so her DF2 whiffed. So you saw the power of just pressing your DP and then creating a great whiff opportunity for you. Now, I want you to try something, and that is after DP, you will be in while standing, right? So after DB, if you are in while standing, then you can't do this or you can't do this. What I want you to try is after DB, if you want to go for your standing 3, you hold your up or your down while the while standing animation is ongoing. So in here, while that is ongoing, you hold your up and then you release it and then you go for your 3. So this is how it will look like. I will turn on my command history for this so you can see. Okay, so we will press CB. And then we hold the up and then we release it and then we press 3. Now that is a way to crouch cancel. Now for B1 plus 2, for example, you hold your back forever and then just press your 1 plus 2. Okay, so let's try that. Okay, now let's try that with the pushback. Okay, now let's try the standing 3. Okay, so I want you to practice that and then try that in a match. Okay, now another one is to just go for this and then go for your FC D1 plus 2. So D1 plus 2 and FC DF1 plus 2 are two different things and that have two different evasion points, I guess. Now let's try that. Either you go with that or you go with a hop kick. So again, similar to the backdash, you need to have a plan that you need to execute right away. Now let's try to do a sidestep. You got launch. Let's try it the other way. It whiffed. I won't teach that because you really can't predict what your enemy will do. Okay? So what we do is the safest way possible to go back to neutral. And that is by pressing DB or just pressing back. And as you saw, it whiffed as well. Now another thing that you could do with DB is, since you are in while standing, you can go for your while standing moves. So I suggest that you go for your while standing 4, while standing 1, 4, and then your while standing 2. Now let's try to do all options. Okay, that's while standing 4. That's your while standing 1, 4, and then here's your while standing 2. Okay, so again, you need to plan this ahead. So, and you need to commit to it. You control the match. You decide on what will happen. Okay, if it doesn't work, then it won't work. You need to decide on what to do after a certain movement. Okay, I will keep repeating that until the end of the guide. For this, it's actually better if you just go for while standing 2 for strings because you will get a launcher because it's going to be a counter hit. Now let's proceed to moves that will put you to while standing. So in a while standing state, what I want you to do is to just simply press back or go to AOP. So for this example, we would go for D1 and then the enemy Kazuya will do DF2. So let's try with the back option first. Okay, we blocked that, we were safe. Now let's try going to AOP after doing D1. Now I will show all of the moves that will guarantee you a pushback, and I will specify if they will be on block or they will be on hits, okay? So enjoy the montage. So that is for the pushback guide for Xiaoyu this season 2. And then I'll see you in the next BELIEVIX video, okay?